Hello, Fever River Rail fans, and welcome back to another episode of Fever River Reviews. That's right, we've already got another one. And there will probably be another one next week. And more and more. I've got so many models coming in from pre-orders right now. This is number 2. I've got the Porta-Par twins from Rapido, UK. I've got Broadway is saying that their UP Power Car and their 4-truck Shay should be in within the next couple weeks. I'm terrified. I'm just barely starting to get to paid at work. Slightly stressful. Anyway, on to today's review. We have the latest offering from Akira Scale. I apologize for the glare on the box. I am doing this in the club's break room today for a very special reason. So first and foremost, we have the protective sleeve. Cool. Done with that. And now we have this beautiful satin finish box. Akira Scale, we got the line art of the model. And as you can see there, we've got the, call it 5700 class 060 Pannier tank, 176.2 scale. It is an 00 scale model. Runs on HO track just fine, supposedly. So the last model I had from Akira Scale was the class 55 Deltic. And that gave me a few issues. It does not like the points or mini curves here at the Fever River. Oh, down at the Rock River, the Northwestern Illinois Model Railroaders Club, excuse me, down in Chadwick, it ran flawlessly. Had some coupler issues, but it ran the layout really well. I'm hoping that this one, I don't know. Anyhow, onto the box, some basic stuff here on the bottom. Encourage you to retain the packaging, yes. I always like keeping locomotive boxes. Contact information, some safety. Not suitable for under 14 fare. Yeah. Loc sound information. Nothing on the back. Get to that. Already looked at that. And there we have the end of the box. We have number 5741. If you guys don't know what that number means, or where that number is from, here's a little hint. No idea how long that's actually going to take me to edit in. If I even remember. Hopefully I remember to at least cut this. Anyhow, let's go ahead and open up the box. A little looser than some other models, but still nice and snug. We'll set that to the side upside down and start setting everything out of the way. So first off, we've got I think I thought this was a sticker with the 55. I'm not entirely sure anymore. But basic information about the operation of the model. See if I can get that in focus and where it can be read if you pause it. There we go. That looks pretty clear. Pause if you want to read. Next, we've got a lot. Let's start with this. This looks like a quick reference for the DCC functions. I do have the DCC sound version because I do not cheap out on models. I like having sound from the factory. So much simpler. No clue what functions 29 to 31 actually do, but I'm not concerned because they're apparently not in use. Okay, let's set that to the side. We'll get to that soon enough. And we've got some operator's manual here. Exploded diagram. Pause if you want to take a closer look at anything. Looks like the decoder is in the cab end. No, decoder is apparently in the boiler. Oh, I see. That is weird. That's weird to have it in that direction. see, and some more information on the back. Lubrication, removing locomotive body shell, fitting a crew. I might look into that at some point, but on to the next. We've got operator's manual, appears to be. 2-cylinder, 5700, 8750 locomotive. And we've got the history. This is... There's a lot here. I'm going to have to get a lot of footage of this thing running around if I have any intention of reading all of this. But I like this. This needs to be standard. Having like an entire booklet of the history of a model. All right. So next we've got the additional details. Looks like we've got... I see lanterns, I see 3-link, I see vacuum pipe, I see number boards, and I think a builder's plate? So that's pretty cool. I like the lanterns. I might look at where those get put on. You have etched number boards, and like I said, I think that little diamond there is a builder's plate. I like it. I like it. And now, on to the main course. Set that out of the way. There we go. Our first look. Let me readjust the camera here. And there we go. Camera is adjusted a little. I might be adjusting it a little further, but for now, I already took the sleeve off because I meant to hit record again after between adjusting, and I hit stop. So and there we go, our first look at this beautiful little model. You know, and I'm just realizing I never finished talking about the importance of the number I went with. 57. 41, oh wait, no, I did. I was doing a sound effect. If I can find it and or remember. All right, anyhow, taking a closer look, I'm actually going to go ahead, turn around, and get some backlighting on this. Okay, and here we are on a little turntable. Let's go ahead and start at the front here. I don't know a whole lot about British models, so I don't know what details I'm even looking at. Okay, now here we are. Hopefully this is the best I think this is going to be the best I can get, so we're going to go ahead and lower this. And now we're going to start off at this side. So first off, beautiful pipe work to the number plate there. Just gorgeous detail. Probably a... no. I don't know what that would be. Toolbox there. And yes, that little diamond does appear in the parts bag. Does appear to be the same as the, or a builder's plate. Beautiful brake rigging. Loving the detail at the top here. Oh, come on, focus. Zoom it out a little. No, I don't want you to there we go. So just gorgeous detail. I know the Great Western liked their brass fittings, so I assume 5741 did not have those. A Kara scale is very detail oriented like that. So I'm confident in that if they didn't give a brass finish safety valve or funnel cover, this engine did not have it in this appearance. Rotate it a little here. Just absolutely gorgeous model. I seriously don't know enough about British prototypes to know how accurate this actually is. Oh, fuzzy there. So I'm loving this. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to see how well it runs. Love all the what appear to be separately fitted details. I don't see any glue marks. Nice looking cap interior. See if I can get this to a good angle. Yeah, we got throttle, reversers. Got some bits in there that have some paint. Nice looking coal load, vacuum pipes. All the different lamp irons. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's go ahead and get over onto the test track for our initial performance check. All right, and here we are on our test track. This is our programming track here at the club. And this is where I'm going to do the initial performance now. Forgot to mention, it does have sprung buffers. I know you bridge guys like that. So let's see. Function 0 is reserved for lighting features, which this has none of. I think it might have a... I saw something about a firebox flicker. I don't know if this is equipped with that, but let's see. Function 1 is the main sound. Here's something there. 2 is brake. 3 is the whistle. Interesting. 4 is a short whistle. 5, heavy mode. I imagine that makes the chuffs a little heavier sounding, like it's got a heavy load. 6, light loco mode. No clue what exactly that's supposed to do. 7 is the acknowledgement whistle. 8, coal shoveling. 9 is injectors. 10 is cylinder drain cocks. 11, bubbler clash / coupling. 'Press it once for a buffler clash and twice for the coupler. 12 is an uncoupling cycle. Should see it shimmy here. Yep. 13, a long whistle. Ow. I don't know if that's how that's supposed to sound or if something is messed up. If you know more about this loco than I do, please let me know. Let's see, 14. Water tank filler cap. 15 is door slams. I think that would be the cab doors. 16 is the guard's whistle. And that is where you would do the acknowledgement whistle. 17, safety valves. 18 is the blower. $19 is flame squeal, which I don't think we're going to get on straight track. And a couple more we have. Function 20 is vacuum train mode. Running the ejector. And 21 is fade out the sound. So I assume it more or less silences it. Cool. Yeah, it's a mute. I don't like how the whistle is on 3. Because 3 is a toggle, while 2 is supposed to be a momentary thing. Alright, anyhow. We just have 1 and 4 active right now, which I don't need 4 active. Now let's go ahead and get some throttle here. All right, so first off, forward. %1 throttle. Nice slow creep. Nice little bit of momentum going there. In reverse, obviously no lights. And let's pop it up to about 50. Interesting. The brake function acts as a brake. Obviously, I don't have a whole lot of length to work with here. But yeah, so far, I'm quite happy with this. Let's go ahead, bring it back to the re-railer center-ish point here. And let's go ahead and give it 50% and see how well it pushes. Definitely got a good bit of force there. I don't know how much this is actually going to handle, weight-wise. I do have the reefer train sitting up on the main line, I think, somewhere. Or did I run? No, that should still be on the main line. I don't expect this to pull it very far, if it can even make it through the curves. And of course, I do have to swap out the couplers for the Cadies, but that's a issue for later. For now, I'm gonna go get this run in, and we will go from there. All right, so we are back here in Benton now. Pardon the E unit in the background, but the run-in is now complete, so let's go ahead and check that crawl. So first forward and 1%. That is backwards. Let's try that again. Very smooth and feels a whole lot better than before. Throw it in reverse. I'm very happy with that. Now, I don't necessarily have any great Western auto coaches. However, I do have some Northwestern bi-levels. So we're gonna go ahead, hook this up. And we're gonna go ahead and get some running shots. Good couple. Coupler height is looking amazing. So let's see how he performs with this nice little consist. Those greens actually look really nice together. All right, here we are over in Galena, and we've got, excuse me, we've got our reefer train all set up. So first off, we have our Katie knuckles replaced with the NEMs, and that was a good joint. Coupler height looks good. All right, let's see if he can pull this line on the level. %, throttle there. We are pulling it along nicely. Full train is coming along. %, holding good. And here we are coming to the bridge. Gotta get him staged for the hill climb. All right, and let's give it 50%. Good start already. And not quite. Oh, we are still going. It's not fast, and he is slipping and barely over the second bridge. So that's not bad for a tank engine. I'm impressed. But easily not the most powerful steam engine I have, or locomotive I have in general, but to get that far with being as small and light as it is, I'm happy.
The Pannier tank story starts in the early part of the 1900s, when the Great Western Railway started replacing round-top fireboxes on some of its older locomotives with bell pair fireboxes. The bell pair firebox is a square design and gives improved heat transfer from the fire to the water in the boiler. However, fitting a saddle tank over the top of such a design would prove unnecessarily difficult. Other railways had adopted side tanks in place of earlier saddle tanks, the tanks extending all the way down to the footplate. This is great for stability and water capacity, but not so good when it comes to servicing the inside workings of a steam locomotive. The Pannier tank was deemed to be a better all-around decision and was adopted as standard for almost all GWR 060 tank engines. Going forward, rebuilds continued of various elderly classes of locomotive right up to and past the grouping of 1923. The grouping brought a vast array of different designs of locomotives from 28 acquired companies. This created a nightmare for maintenance crew training and rostering. A standard locomotive would be the answer. What was required was a standard, go-anywhere, lightweight, yet powerful tank locomotive. One that everyone could be familiar with, that's easy to maintain and handle. The design drew from many, yet now standard GWR features. The L-pair boiler, inside cylinders driven by Stevenson valve gear, enclosed cab, and most notably, Pannier tanks. From the design office of Charles B. Collett, 100 locomotives were ordered. These were developed from the earlier rebuild to 2721 class, and were designated the 5700 class. Of the first 100, 50 were built by the North British Locomotive Company in Glasgow, and 50 were built in the Great Western's workshop in Swindon. Almost immediately, a further 200 locomotives were ordered, funded by the British government as part of a work creation scheme. The 200 locomotives were split between 6 contractors: North British, 50, Bagnall, 50, Bayer Peacock, 25, Kerr Stewart, 25, Armstrong Whitworth, 25, and Yorkshire
renamed
Company,
renamed
25.
Thomas.
These 300 locomotives mostly formed Class 5700 and became the standard Pannier tank on the Great Western Railway. However, they were not as standard as you think. 15 locomotives were built without steam heat, vacuum braking, and GWR ATC. These formed Class 6700 and were primarily used for shunting and short-trip freight work, and as such weren't equipped with screw couplings either. A simple 3-link chain was hung from the coupler hooks. Tagged out on the last batch of 5700 was a small build of nearly Pannier tanks that were built for working over London transport to metals to the Smithfield market from Paddington. A radical departure from the appearance of the 5700, these had a shortened tank to make space for condensing equipment and weir pumps for feeding the boiler instead of injectors. To counter the loss of water capacity when the tanks were shortened, they were extended down to footplate level near the cab, which was also a new design with larger windows and more enclosed side sheets. The larger and more comfortable cab on the 9700 class was incorporated into the later breed of Pannier tanks from 1933. The 8750 class was one. Nearly 500 locomotives followed to the basic design right up until the last batch was completed by the Western Region of British Railways in 1950. Later, the 6700s before there was a... Like the 6700s before, there was a further batch of no heat and steam brake only locomotives. This time, just 10 were built and designed designated 6750 class. Similarly, these 6700s were outwardly identical to the parent class to which they belonged.
So that has been the Akira Scale 5700 class Pannier tank. This thing is amazing. Great detail, great performance. It was a little iffy there at the beginning before the break-in, but this is just outstanding. It can only handle these three of these bi-levels coming up Galena, but honestly, that's a good-looking consist. And if it's good enough for IRM, it's good enough for me. So detail-wise, 5 out of 5. Performance, I'm going to give it a 4.5. I've had a couple small issues that I just can't overlook. I love the model. It's great. Happy with it. Happy with the price. 5 out of 5. All in all, I'm going to give this model a 4.8 out of 5. If you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you guys disagree, let me know why. And if you guys have seen anything else on the layout here that you might like a pseudo review on, let me know. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.